turn that on.
Okay.
So I don't have to do anything.
No, they're working on their end, and as people start popping in, you'll see them.
Okay, it's the same as Zoom is the same as WebEx.
It's
So
similar.
similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should be good. I'll hang out until everything gets going.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
need some water or anything up here?
I've got some. Do you need some?
No, I was just gonna go down and get some.
Yeah, there's more downstairs.
Okay. So I can all right.
Good.
Well, I'll hang out. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Okay, good. Thanks again, Doug.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll be around. And they'll join up and it'll start on its own.
Oh, okay.
Morning, Rennie. Afternoon, rather.
Afternoon, Phil.
Hello, Rocky. Hello, Stefan.
Do what?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Come on in. Try to get the chairman on just if you want to let everybody know. Okay. David's manning the phone, so he'll be with us momentarily.
Oh, good.
Still got 5 minutes. Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for joining us.
Glad to.
Good afternoon, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda.
Hi there.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Dave.
Hello.
Thanks for making it. Sorry to start the meeting on the phone, but that's just the world we live in. We almost got the chairman in. We're this close.
Need 3 years and 4 hands.
Right. Thanks again for making it. I'll be back.
Okay.
Brenda, have you ridden the Alpine coaster yet?
I have not. I've wanted to, but at first when it was open and all winter long, it was so packed. I didn't want to go up there. It's slowed right now since there's a gas shortage. There aren't as many people, but I haven't had time. But I really want to. Have you?
No, I pulled in the parking lot, just like your experience. It was packed. I mainly just wanted to see it and look at how it operated. I'm anxious to. Looks fun.
You can buy tickets you can buy to ride for 3 times, which I have been told is what you should do, because the first time you're trying to figure out, how fast to go, how slow to go, which pedal to push, whatever. Second time you're more familiar with. The third time you can really enjoy it.
Awesome. It looked like the number of people I saw up there standing in line was so much more than the cars in the parking lot. I don't know if they were parking other places or how that worked.
There is an alternate parking place because they can't get all the cars in there. But I think it's dangerous because they have to walk on the side of that curve to get over there. It
Oh,
worries me. But they're building a new parking lot now that I think you won't have to get out on the road for. So
Good.
I think that they're working on it.
look pretty neat from just a construction perspective, how they didn't have to cut many trees down.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. They modeled it after a European model of this kind of thing. And I think one of them's family has one of those in Europe somewhere. So they knew what they were doing, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I don't know how the building inspector would inspect something like that. It's got to be all new to him.
Right, exactly. But I think it's very safe and even has heat in the rails so it won't freeze.
Oh, wow.
So it can go all winter long. Interesting concept. The whole thing is actually.
Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
Good
Tully,
afternoon,
how
Tully.
are you?
Pretty good. How's everybody doing?
Good. How many do we have to have today to have a quorum?
I do not know. 5 or 6, I think, is all.
Oh, well then, we're
5,
probably okay.
need 5.
5.
Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is right here. So, be patient with us. We're getting there.
Rennie, how long was your meeting last night?
About an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, that's nice.
One of the shorter ones.
Yeah.
We did our business and went home.
Are you still meeting twice a month?
Yeah. By WebEx.
Gotcha. Pam, while David's connecting other people, I just had a quick question for you, if you got a minute.
Who, me?
Yes.
Okay. I may not have an answer, but I'll try.
Have you seen traffic count numbers for last year and how they compare, how they were affected?
I have not seen the overall counts because the traffic surveys group was still trying to decide on the process for how they would adjust counts to compensate for COVID-19. And they've been doing their research and all. But I have seen just through the end of March, I haven't seen April's data yet. They were comparing VMT from the estimated in last year compared to, during COVID. And we've about reached back to where it's pre-COVID time now.
Just anecdotally, it looks that way here too.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I have not heard yet, but I will send an email and ask if they determine what they're going to do with the counts to let you know.
Right. How long a lag time is it usually for them to do the adjustment?
It's a while. It seems like they collect one, it's kind of a year behind before they publish out, because they kind of during COVID, they published the 2019.
I think so.
So it's about a year, I think, for them to do all the adjustments and all. So I'll write myself a note to find out what the status is for that for you, Phil.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the delay, y'all. A little technical difficulties. We're going to try the phone option with the chairman, just so you know, he's working on it. I'll be back.
Excuse me, I'm gonna call another member.
Can you hear me, Chairman? Trying to see if you can hear me on the.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, beautiful. I'm going to get off of my cell phone and. Okay, I think we got the
Okay.
chairman on there. What do
Finally.
you can hear me loud and
And I
clear.
do have the ethics statement.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Let me do one quick thing. I'll be right back.
All righty.
Okay. Very good. All right, thank you all so much for your patience today. We've got about 5 after 2, and we have a quorum. We've got 5 members on there. So before we read the ethics statement and get the meeting started, I've got to do roll call. And so when you hear your name, just say yes, and that way I can mark you down. It makes for voting on the action items a lot easier for everyone. So I'll just go down the line. If you're here, great. Let me know. If not, I'll just keep on moving down the list. John Brady, Woody Young.
Here.
Okay. David Harwood, Bill Osborne, Brenda Lyerly,
Here.
Collie Tarleton,
Here.
Rocky Buchanan,
Here.
wonderful. Todd McNeil, Vern Grindstaff, Jim Blevins, Denise Collier. I thought I saw her come in. Okay. Mark Ledford, Larry Turnbow, Brian Minton, Robert Johnson, Billy Clark, and Rennie Brantz.
Here.
Great. All right, so I needed 5. I've got 5.
Wow.
I appreciate y'all's patience with all this stuff. I tell you what, it's something else. So we're making it work. Okay, Chairman, if you say you have the ethics statement, feel free to go ahead and read that to the group.
All right. In accordance with the State Government Ethics Act, it is the duty of every RTAC board member to avoid conflicts of interest. Does any RTAC board member have any known conflict of interest with respect to any matters coming before the RTAC board today? If so, please identify the conflict and refrain from any participation in the particular matter involved.
Great, thank you, Chairman. Now, Chairman, you being on the phone, you may not have the agenda in front of you. So let me share the screen with the group on that. And I will
Okay.
assist in going through that one at a time here. So I'll be your eyes in this case today.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Do you have a copy, Chairman, by chance or no?
I'm looking to see.
Okay. All right. So the first action item is approval of the February 17th, 2021 RTAC minutes. So if you would like to call for a motion on that, that would be wonderful.
The motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. It's Brenda.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second. Randy Grant.
All in
Okay.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I need to take roll
Opposed?
call on,
Likewise.
Chairman, I need to take roll call on all these action items. Unfortunately, that's how this House
Okay.
Bill 704 works. So I've got a first from Brenda Lyerly and a second from Rennie Brantz. And all those in favor say yes or no. Woody Young,
Yes.
Cully Tarleton,
Yes.
Rocky Buchanan.
Yes.
Okay, we got them all. It's much easier with a smaller group. This morning it was like 30 folks to go through, so we got through it. Let's see here. The next item is, let me move down, is the resolution of support for the town of Burnsville to apply for a bicycle and pedestrian planning grant. And so I'll move down to the resolution here. And give you a little bit of a background as well. I'm a little too far. Hold on a second. Okay. The Bicycle and Pedestrian Planning Grant Initiative is a matching grant program that encourages municipalities to develop comprehensive bicycle plans and pedestrian plans. The Integrated Mobility Division with NCDOT and the Transportation Planning Division, also with NCDOT, sponsor the grant. And the town of Burnsville reached out to us and asked if we would provide some assistance with getting that grant prepared and submitted. And as part of the application package, we are required to pass a resolution of support for this. The TCC did recommend approval for this resolution of support for Burnsville this morning. And Chairman, I'd like to entertain a motion on this particular item.
I'll entertain a motion to approve this resolution for the grant.
This is Cully. I move approval.
Thank you, Cully.
Do I have a second?
This is Brenda, I second.
Okay. Thank you, Brenda. All right, and so I'll go through the roll call exercise one more time here. Woody Young,
Yes.
Rocky Buchanan,
Yes.
and Rennie Brantz.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, we're moving right along. Okay, so the next item I have here is regarding the TAC meeting schedule. And my apologies for the way this was inserted into the packet. So let me go right to this is about as simple of a amendment to bylaws that you'll probably ever see. So it's highlighted in red. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. But essentially, Phil and I were talking about, the dynamics of meeting with the TCC in the morning and the TAC in the afternoon, and just some of the challenges recently that has posed. So in an effort to coincide our meetings on the same day, we felt that instead of having the TAC meet in December, to just go ahead and meet in November, which is the same day that the TCC meets in the morning at 2 p.m. So we just feel like it's going to be a whole lot easier for everyone to deal with from this point moving forward, not only for the group in the morning, but for y'all in the afternoon. That way there's no staggering of the meeting. So let me see if, Chairman, are you still there by chance?
I am still here, and
Okay.
I am waiting for you to let me in the meeting on the
Oh,
computer.
okay, so let's see.
I did get to there.
Okay, wonderful. So let's see. Admit all.
Part of that issue with this group meeting in December, it's always third Wednesday, and that pushed real close to Christmas certain years.
Okay, so any questions or concerns regarding that little change in the schedule? I know y'all are used to, the December meeting.
So if you said it pushed pretty close to Christmas in December, is it going to be close to Thanksgiving now?
Yes. Yeah, it's the third Wednesday, so I would say it would be close, Mayor.
That's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yep. Maybe you'll have the same 5 members.
Yeah, we're just trying to streamline it the best we can. If it runs into a problem with it falling on Thanksgiving, we can certainly reschedule for the a little bit time afterwards or beforehand.
Does it have to be the third Wednesday, David?
Technically, Chairman, I'd say no, but the way that the TCC schedule is, it would be best for it to be lined up this way.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns about that? Other than it falling on Thanksgiving.
I think we're a week, we'll have a whole week in between this year.
Okay, thanks for looking into that, Phil. Okay, not hearing any other comments or questions on that. Chairman, I'd like to get a motion for a vote on that one.
This is Rocky. Make a motion to change it.
Thank you, Rocky.
Do I hear a second?
This is Brenda, I'll second it.
Great, thank you, Brenda. Okay. Okay. All right, so we'll just keep going through the agenda here.
You need to vote on that?
Yes, I am sorry. Thank you very much. Let me get the, let's see here, Woody Young,
Yes.
Cully Tarleton,
Yes.
and Rennie Brantz. Rennie Brantz?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, very good. Chairman, thank you for catching me on that one. Sometimes I've got this this problem with getting in a hurry on stuff, and that's what happens. Let's see here. Let me keep on going to the next item we've got here. And so action item number 5, the fiscal year 2021-2022 planning work program, or the RPO budget, is what you see in front of you. And I feel like this is probably the best way to look at it, is the narrative document. So Chairman, this item requires the opening of a public hearing. And due to House Bill 704, we cannot close the public hearing until tomorrow. So if you want to go ahead and open the public hearing now, and then I'll kind of give the details on the planning work program, and then we'll just leave it open until tomorrow around 3 o'clock, if that works for you.
I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
This is Cully, so moved.
Okay. I think I've got Rennie and Cully on that one.
I'll second it.
Okay. So that being said, I'll go ahead and go through this. This planning work program is very similar to last year's, but I'll go ahead and go through the high notes here. So under data collection and assessment, and feel free to stop me if you have any questions as I go through it. We've got $8,000 allocated to that. Right below that, comprehensive transportation plan development, $31,000 for that one. For prioritization work, we got $21,000 for that. Let's see here, under program and project development, $5,000 there. And under general transportation planning, $14,500 for that. Administrative activities, that must be really good because I got this down to a really unique number. It's $20,957. If I could toot my own horn on that. Programmatic direct charges, $100. Advertising, $100. Lodging, meals, and incidentals, $1,200. Postage, $50. Registration and training, $200. Travel, $1,200. And then under indirect costs approved by Cognizant Agency, $56,256 for a grand total of $159,563 for FY 21-22. So that's my introduction of the budget for the RPO for this next fiscal year. I'll be happy to answer any questions that y'all may have. Again, as I said initially, it's pretty straightforward, very similar to last year. Same dollar figure total. But the catch here is we got to leave the public hearing open until tomorrow. Any questions or comments? Okay, not hearing any. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next public hearing. And I believe we may have someone who wants to speak at this one. Ted Silver, are you on the line? Is Ted Silver on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, wonderful. Just making sure you're there. You were here this morning and here this afternoon. You're getting your fill of the RPO today, aren't you?
Chance to say hello to my mayor.
There you go.
Ted.
Very good. So, Mayor, Chairman, if you want to go ahead and open the public hearing for the High Country RPO prioritization 6.0 methodology, that'd be much appreciated.
I'll entertain a motion to open the High Country RPO.
This is Rocky. Motion that we open.
Great. Thank you, Rocky.
This is Brenda, I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Brenda. All right, and all in favor, say yes or no. Woody Young?
Yes.
Collie Tarleton?
Yes.
Rennie Brantz? Wonderful. All right, so it's open. So we've got 2 public hearings open right now. And Ted, I'm just going to go through kind of like I did this morning and then give you the opportunity to make any comments that you'd like to make. Does that work for you?
Sure. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Yep. Okay, so on August 19th, 2020, the TCC approved the formation of a methodology subcommittee, which we have to do every prioritization cycle, which will guide the High Country RPO process for scoring and ranking and the allocation of local input points to transportation projects for the 2023-2032 State Transportation Improvement Program, or STIP for short. The folks that volunteered to be on this committee are Joe Furman with Pawtucket County, Ken Nolan, Wilkesboro, Stephen Sparks with Division 13, Rob Wise with the Division 11. Rob has since moved on, but we appreciated his input. I was able to get Phil Truda to volunteer, and then I volunteered myself. So thought that made sense. So we met in December of 2020 and then late January of 2021 to basically go over the existing methodology and try to refine the document with the intent of capturing as many transportation projects as we possibly can, with the thought in the back of our mind that there's not much money to go around this cycle. So that was our biggest concern. So basically 1 through 6, I kind of like marked them on the attached methodology after this memo. But the first change we made was the allocation of 1,500 local input points. Last cycle, we had 1,400. So the good news here is we've got an extra 100 points to allocate to regional projects and division projects. We reduced the highway scoring criteria from 9 to 4, with emphasis, as I've mentioned before, on the spot score. Again, in an effort to just pick up the projects that we can. That's the name of the game with this cycle. We reduced bicycle pedestrian scoring criteria from 5 to 4, again with emphasis on the spot scores, with the same intent of picking up as many projects as possible. Number 4 had a maximum of 20 points for bicycle and pedestrian project connectivity criteria, where project provides a connection to existing bicycle and pedestrian facilities. A maximum of 10 points for bicycle pedestrian project right-of-way acquisition status, where right-of-way, if it's acquired, you get 10 points for that. If there's none acquired, you get 100. And as I was telling the group this morning, that's an important component for NCDOT when they are trying to schedule projects in the State Transportation Improvement Program. If right-of-way is an issue, it's really a hard moving target for them to nail down and to schedule a project for. Lastly, number 6, we included a flexibility provision which is new for this cycle, which enables us to transfer up to 500 points between regional impact and division needs categories. And you'll see at the bottom here, we made the methodology available for public comment the whole month of April. Just wanted you all to know that we did not receive any public comments on that. Let's see what else we had. And obviously the TAC is holding a public hearing on it now. But I do want you to know that the TCC this morning did recommend approval, and NCDOT also has approved the methodology for this cycle. So looking at my notes, I covered most everything, and the last check mark I got to make is that Ted Silver would like to provide some comments. So Ted, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ted Silver. I live in Banner Elk. I'm the current chairman of the Banner Elk Bicycle Pedestrian Committee. By way of background, I'm also the program coordinator for the country's only academic bicycling minor degree program at Lees McRae College. And I'm also the president of Bike Walk NC, which is our statewide volunteer bicycle pedestrian advocacy group. And thank you for the opportunity to address. I really want to kind of approach this very generally. I know how much work is involved in doing the prioritizations under the STI, and appreciate the committee and looking at some of the criteria, especially regarding the bicycle pedestrian scoring criteria. Obviously, I like to point out always that the STI uses, as it describes statewide, regional, our division, our needs. And I think bicycle pedestrian projects have certainly shown themselves, especially now, to be an important need. In looking at the prioritization and the changes, I'd like to remind the committee that connectivity is a very important criteria. However, in your deliberations and in the TCC deliberations, many rural areas may have great need for both from health and connecting their own communities, but they may not have such connectivity to pre-existing bike routes, since we all know what it's like in rural and isolated areas around North Carolina. And I remind you all that currently, under the STI, there's a prohibition to use state funds to match federal aid for independent bicycle and pedestrian projects. And I'm going to take a moment. 511 is floating around the legislature to put back that provision that was pre-existing in the 2013 transportation. So hopefully that'll help in getting, if it gets passed or gets attached to a bill, it'll help us to find funding and make availability, because the issue on rights of way is always a problem. Smaller communities have difficulty in pre-acquiring rights of way, which obviously under the adjustment becomes a 0 points for no acquisition. So I just like to ask, as you consider these, and if there's flexibility, as I've been explained by David, that there is some options to sometimes look differently at the scorings for certain projects for bike ped stuff. I'd ask you to do that. And one last comment, coincidentally, I'm here talking about bicycle ped. May is National Bicycle Month, and it so happens that today, sadly, is what's known as the International Ride of Silence Day, around the world commemorating and remembering those who've lost their lives. So with that in mind, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to address you, and hope that I've given you some food for thought as you go through the process in the future. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Ted. I think I may have saw your picture in the paper.
Yes, yes. The town of Banner Elk has allowed what they call a ghost bike, which is a white bike painted in memory, to be placed in our corner on Main all day today. And we go by and take a little selfie and try again, just to put it in people's minds, to be cautious and safe out there.
Great. Thanks, Ted. Okay, Chairman, I'll keep moving through the agenda here. So we've got 2 public hearings open, and we'll reconvene. Hopefully I can get all 5 of you to show up tomorrow, or most of you anyway. I need 5. And we can close and take action on those 2 items at that time. So with that, I'm going to, well, before I move on, any other questions on the methodology? Okay, I will move on down to the next items here. To that. This is just a visual of what I read to you, all the markups and the methodology. Okay, so under informational items, we've got the prioritization 6.0 update, which basically dovetails with what we just talked about here. And we'll move the screen over a little bit here. And so the NCDOT Strategic Prioritization Office of Transportation, or SPOT for short, is currently in the process of scoring all projects in the state for the Piece 6.0 cycle. The review period of all data and costs for scoring is scheduled for April 1st through May 31st. I've been able to look at the data and costs for our projects and provide input to the SPOT office. And I believe Division 11 and 13 has also done that. The third point we've got here is the programming of statewide mobility projects by SPOT is scheduled for the month of August. And so therefore, that's like key information for you all and your managers, because that is where they get their first look at how these projects are scoring. So it's an important part of the process. And hopefully they'll be going for projects that are scoring really high. And that way we can take that into consideration when we allocate RPO points to it. And of course, I'll work with the divisions as well to see if we can get them also to allocate points. So that being said, kind of long-winded, sorry about that. The solicitation of the projects that are in the SPOT database, I'll be asking for those from local governments, your managers, and that is the way it stands now. I'll be doing that in early September of this year. And then of course I couldn't help but put this last bullet point in there, which is this schedule is subject to change. Just like everything else. And I've had lots of conversations with the folks out of Raleigh in the SPOT office, and they say, yes, David, just keep using the schedule until we tell you otherwise. And so I'm hoping I don't hear from them again and we can just move on. But I just wanted to let y'all know where we are with prioritization 6.0. Any questions or comments on that?
Is there any way to know where some of these projects we've talked about for quite some time, where they stand?
Chairman, I can get with you on if you have a particular project that you're interested in. I'd be happy to get with you on that and find out.
The one I'm particularly interested in is a climbing lane up 105.
Okay. Yeah, I can. I will follow up with you. Let me make a note of that. On that.
And I believe Miss Brenda would be interested in that as well.
You bet. You bet. And the bridge?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Let me go to my next item here.
If we can get the road, they'll have to build the bridge.
That's right.
Okay, I'll look into that for you. All right, so those are actually good questions for the project development update, which I'm going to go ahead and pull up right now because I think I've got a couple of those projects in there that I want to share with you. And so, Mayor, you were talking about the bridge there at Broadstone Road.
Correct.
Okay, I got some good news on that one.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know. It's nice to get good news with transportation projects every once in a while. So let's get to that. And so there's a couple I want to touch on before we get there. On page 1, this project had been asked about by the Ashe County Planning Director, NC 88. Which is NC 88 to NC 194 in Ashe County. That road is scheduled for right-of-way in 2022 and construction in 2024. And then, Chairman, you may have some interest in this other one that I wanted to touch on here at the bottom. And that is NC 194. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Guess what? That was an extended warranty phone call.
No.
Can you believe it? Okay. So sorry for the distraction. NC 194 US 19E intersection, R5911. right-of-way 2022, construction 2022. So, Chairman, I think that was a project that I thought you had some interest in
Yes, sir.
some time ago. Okay,
said-
so go ahead.
I actually sat in line over there about 10 minutes this morning, just trying to get to the intersection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully that'll be relieved in 2022 sometime.
hopefully.
Okay, so here we are. Let's go right to it, the bridge. So you're speaking of the R2566 B project, and part of that is the 2566 BA. And so you can see the project in its entirety, right away 2022, construction 2024. So the good news is that the bridge section has been accelerated from 2023 to 2022.
Good.
I think I saw Mike Petty-John's on the call. So if I'm misspeaking, Mike, please tell me not to say that. So, but I know that that is the pinch point, if not the biggest pinch point in our region. And so the good news is it's still in the STIP, it's still committed, and the construction schedule is being accelerated.
Good.
So
It's scheduled for September late this year.
okay, wonderful. Thank you, Mike. Okay, and so I'll keep on going down the list here to other projects. Let's see. And so this one at the bottom, I know Mayor Brantz might find some interest, as well as others who drive around the community, but the Bamboo Road, Wilson Ridge Road, from US 421 to Deerfield Road. Get lots of inquiries about this. Again, this project is still committed. Right of way 2022, construction 2024 on that. And let's see what else we've got on page 3. The 421 U5312 project, the Super Street project through Wilkesboro in their commercial area. Right of way is already in progress, which is good news, and then construction 2023 on that. And so that's really the highlights on the project development list. Most everything else is stayed the same from transit and as well as the bicycle and pedestrian and some of the aviation projects, they have stayed the same also. So that's any questions or comments regarding that? Okay. Let's see here, Chairman, next on the agenda, we've got Division Engineers Report, Division 11, and then Division 13. I believe we have representatives from both divisions on the call here.
This is Mike. I'll go ahead with Division 11. As far as active construction projects, probably the biggest thing, especially for the group that's actually attending today, is the 221 project over in Ashe County. C section, we should start to finishing the final layer next week is my understanding. And also we have got started on the E section, which is up there, that area in front of Walmart, Lowe's, on into Jefferson. So that has got started and it's going well. Just will mention I don't think anybody's on from Wilkes, but the 268 project actually seems to be picking up a little speed, and hopefully they'll get finished sometime this fall. Do want to mention one other item. I know David and others are probably aware that, we're going through an extensive process of reviewing our cost estimates on all our projects that are in the current STIP. Just getting underway, so there's still a lot of information left to be determined, but as everyone knows, prices on everything are going up, and just an example is the project that David just mentioned, U5810, which is Bamboo Road and Wilson Ridge from 421 back over to Deerfield. that project in the STIP shows a construction cost of $7.6 million. Our last verified estimate on that is $22.3 million.
gosh.
So
Oh,
so you can see that's a significant increase, and those type increases may have an impact on the overall STIP as we try to manage our finances and get these projects done that are actually committed in the STIP. So just, and that's going across the whole state that this review is. So be glad to answer any questions.
Well, thank you, Mike. That was very informative. I didn't realize that there was such a jump in that, but that's what I've been hearing. All right. Anyone from Division 13?
Good afternoon. This is Mark. And just what Mike said, I'll reiterate that point. The Division 13 is experiencing the same kind of cost increases. I believe Hannah Cook's on the line, and she's going to give the report for Division 13 from this point.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So for Division 13, so Mitchell and Yancey County, I think the two STI projects that we have, the ones that were selected through prioritization and that are in the STIP, David has included in his portion of the project development update. The only thing I would add is it looks like we have a safety project in Yancey County on NC 197 to install guardrail from Toe River Road to the Mitchell County line near Green Mountain. And from what I can see, it looks like that'll let for construction in November of this year. As far as construction for Mitchell and Yancey County, really the only thing active right now is our resurfacing contracts, and that's just various primary and secondary routes throughout Mitchell and Yancey County. It looks like those are all various stages of completion, but some primary routes you can look for resurfacing on would be NC 226 and US 19. And that's really all I have, unless someone had some questions for us.
Great. Thank you, Hannah. All right, Chairman, I guess we got Transportation Planning Division update, and Pam Cook, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, let me get to your newsletter real quick.
All right, and I think that David had also sent it out to y'all, so you can just click on links provided in it. You don't have to worry about trying to copy them.
Okay, I haven't sent it out yet, but I will after this meeting.
Okay.
All right, take it away.
So the first thing, there's a correction on the traffic forecast. When I did this, there were no traffic forecasts that were ongoing in the area. But just yesterday, I got an email from our traffic forecast team that they've started a traffic forecast for R5911, which is the constructing a right turn lane from US 19 East northbound to NC 194 eastbound. So there is one traffic forecast in the area. The Yancey County Comprehensive Transportation Plan, the steering committee had a survey out for draft recommendations for the whole month of April and met May 5th to review comments received and developed the draft recommendations. So the next step is that those recommendations, I'm working on finalizing the draft maps and documentation, and then it will go to local officials in Yancey County and Burnsville for adoption consideration, and then to NCDOT, then to the RPO. So hopefully it will be at your August meeting, and then to the NCDOT Board of Transportation for consideration. I also put that there is a contract was awarded to replace 3 bridges between Allegheny County and Wilkes County. The locations are listed in the second paragraph of that. And for Federal Highway News, I put some, resources for bikeway selections, because May is the National Bike Month, not only for Federal Highway, but for NCDOT. Also, it's Bicycle Awareness Month and Motorcycle Awareness Month in North Carolina. So I wanted to provide y'all some links there to some great resources. On the second page, NCDOT put up cameras and they've been trying to do a study on what causes accidents along railways with people who are walking along railways. They're spending time down by the tracks. In our state, 22 people were killed in 2019. And with a zero safety goal, we would like to eliminate deaths like that. So they're going to be studying that data. North Carolina continues to be a leader in using drones for bridge inspections. And then, as I mentioned earlier, it is National Bike and Motorcycle Safety Month. It's also a National Youth Traffic Safety Month. So it's a good time you'll hear in your areas. The Bike to School Day and also a Bike to Work Day will be being promoted. That's it.
Great, thank you, Pam.
David,
Okay.
I
Go
have,
ahead.
I have a question for Miss Pam.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
It's probably not an intelligent question, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Then I'll have to worry about giving an intelligent answer.
You mentioned project forecast for 19E194.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean?
So a traffic forecast is one of the first things that it's done in preliminary design. They will look at existing conditions out there and come up with projected traffic volumes based on what we know about future development in the area to determine. That will help then determine how many lanes, for this case, how long would the turning lane need to be. So it's the preliminary, giving the traffic counts that for future, I guess you're looking at 2045 at this point, they'll project the volumes out and they'll use those volumes then to begin the preliminary design work.
Well, I think it's to be constructed in 2023.
Yes, but they don't want it to only meet the needs of traffic in 2023. They want to make sure that it will meet future traffic demands. So 25 to 30 years, that lane is still the appropriate length. It didn't need to be longer for right turns and things.
Okay, but that's not going to delay the project?
No. It's the first step that happens before a project the design starts.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Thank you, Pam. Okay, Chairman, so we're at the bottom of the agenda under other items. And so the next is committee member comments / other business. So I'll let you ask for that if you'd like.
Okay, do we have any comments or other business from any of the members? How's that?
Perfect. Next thing is public comment.
Do we have any public comments?
I haven't received any, just so the group knows.
Okay.
Ted provided his where he needed to. And then the last item on the agenda is recess the meeting until May 20th, which is tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
I'll entertain a motion to recess until tomorrow, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m.
This is Brenda, so moved.
This is Cully.
Okay, got Brenda and Cully. So all in favor, say yes or no. Woody,
Yes.
Rocky Buchanan,
Yes.
and Rennie Brantz.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much. Hopefully, most of you will be able to make it tomorrow at 3. I promise it'll be brief. We're just going to be closing the public hearing on the planning work program and the methodology and acting, hopefully, to get that approved and submitted to DOT. Again, I appreciate your willingness to come today and look forward to seeing you tomorrow if you can make it.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, y'all have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um,